The Loki team has been awfully busy lately, and we talked about them a little bit last night, but let's look at even something else that they've been working on as well. Welcome to the SavageMine YouTube channel. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about crypto mining and crypto related projects, you can get an almost daily dose of it just by clicking the subscribe button right now and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And if you follow me on Twitter also, I sometimes do polls and things like that, and I tweet about nonsense, mostly crypto related. Although crypto Twitter is kind of like a friggin' ghost town right now, but follow me over there if you want to stay up to date on what's going on with the YouTube channel as well. So let's take a quick look at what I am mining. I still have this rig off, or I have it off now because it gets too hot in here and it's a little loud. But on the NVIDIA rig, I am mining Raven still. Doing okay with that. And then on the shared rigs, and this one is down again, we're still mining CCX or Conceal over there, and I'll definitely have some troubleshooting to do once the stream is over because this rig just won't stay online for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with it just yet. So I got to take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at the market real quick. Kind of a good day, nice and green. Good to see that. And Raven's up a little bit, that's good. Loki's up a little bit, that's good. CCX, all right, looking all right. Let's take a look at the top 10 list here, or my top 10 list anyway. First up is CCX. We just kind of saw what they were doing. Hanging around 15 cents. They were down to like 14, I believe. So they were creeping back up there, that's good to see. Number 2 is Raven. Raven's up a little bit, and Raven actually has a little bit of news here. This was kind of something weird that happened. Let me see if I can find it. Not weird, but it's good news, but it was a little bit misrepresented, I guess you could say, because it's Binance US opens deposits for Link and Raven, and this was a source of contention right here because there's no logo like that for Raven. That's not the Raven logo. That is the logo for some type of Raven project. I can't remember. Yeah, Raven protocol. That's it right here. And there's a lot of people calling it out in here. So hopefully they get that fixed. Maybe they're not going to delete the tweet probably, but that's a little bit confusing and not a good look in my opinion. They got to get the logos right whenever they do stuff like this. So. Yeah, so there's people in here saying, dude, that's the wrong logo. So thought that was kind of interesting, but nonetheless, it is good news. I just wish that they would have used the right logo because then it kind of would stand out a little bit better. So that's just what I was gonna mention about that. Let's look at Swap. Swap is up just a tad, creeping up on 7 cents. Then we got Rio. I haven't looked at any of this today, so I don't know. I might be shocked at some of it. Still under 2 cents for Rio, but looking okay. Up a little bit. Loki. All of these alts that I follow are like up just a little bit. 3%. Looking good there. Pretty strong. I like that volume. That volume looks like real volume. That's a good thing. All right, let's look at Zell. Hanging around 5 cents, okay. Look at Vail. Vail's up again today. Looking good. 9%. Arrow, which is not on here. Not on any exchanges or anything yet, from what I know. And then we got Big Cash. Bitcash is hanging around 2 cents, pretty even. And then AION down a little bit. Going back to 7 cents, it looks like. Hopefully not, but. All right. If there's something else you want me to check out, let me know. I will check out the chat real quick, see who all's in here and what y'all are talking about. And it's nothing, so I will just press right on. And just a quick reminder, none of my videos are sponsored in any way. It's just me chatting about projects that I'm interested in. And if I figure out something, you know, sometimes I'll do the polls like I was talking about earlier on Twitter. I don't do that all the time, but if I do, then obviously, you know, you guys are kind of deciding what we're going to talk about that night. But most of the time, it's just me finding something that I would like to talk about, smashing the go live button, and ranting about stuff. That's normally the case. So I'm going to start talking a little bit more about privacy because it's so important and it's also being threatened at the same time. So you're probably going to hear me talk a little bit more about privacy and how to stay safe and all those kind of things. And I know that's kind of weird coming from a dude that is going live, you know, and kind of not being so private. But I don't know. It's kind of about balance, I guess. It seems like every day, you know, there's a leak or a hack that violates a corporation's users' privacy. And here's something recent, you know, from Twitter, and it was actually tweeted out by Loki, which we're going to talk about tonight. So I thought that this was truly relevant to what we are talking about. So it looks like, you know, Twitter admits to sharing information to get targeted ads, and that came up as even your phone number. So, and then I got to thinking, I'm like, why in the world does Twitter even need your phone number? And I remember whenever I first signed up, it was, if I remember right, it was a required field, or it could have been just for validation, like two-factor authentication, or I think that would be the only reason, honestly. But you know, there's other ways of doing it, you know. So I don't know. It just kind of bugs me whenever I go to sign up for something. I can't tell you the number of times that I've launched something that I thought was going to be super cool. I was like, okay, I need to get in on this, whatever it was, app or, you know, some type of program or something. And they start asking for information, and every time that they ask for something, every line, I'm critical of every line. I'm like, okay, why does this business need that information from me? Why? What are they going to use that for? Right? I ask myself that every single time that I'm signing up for something, which I don't do very often, but every single time, I don't get it. Why am I being asked for this information? You know, you don't need this in order for it to function, right? So that was kind of the case with Twitter. Kind of a bad look. I don't like it. I think that it's, you know, I don't know. It's just bad all the way around. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. You know, something to think about. You know, in this world with all the technology that we have, we've got privacy and security are inversely proportional to convenience. So we live in a world where we want things to be convenient, but at the same time, whenever we want things to be convenient, we are oftentimes giving up a lot of information to have that convenience. I'll give you another example real quick. You know those Nest or the Wi-Fi connected, accessible from anywhere in the world thermostats, right, that you can get for your house? You know, if you connect those things up, they have an app, you know, obviously for the thermostat. And if you enable, this is just a quick example, if you enable location services, right, on your phone and configure the app can actually configure your thermostat based on where you're at. So for example, if you were on your way home, you could configure the app to say, okay, if you're within 500 yards of the house of your point that you put on the map for the app, then it will fire up your AC or heat or whatever and get it comfortable for when you pull in the driveway, right? Now, look, that's great technology. I love it. it's super neat, super convenient. But think about all the things that have to be, basically transmitted in order for that to actually work that way. I mean, one, you probably have Google on your phone. You might be signed into Google also all the time. Most people are like that. Then you've got location services on that's connecting to a cellular network in a certain location. That's being transmitted because that's going back to the app. The app is now saying, okay, this person and this phone, or not this person, but this phone is now within a certain range. So let's talk to your home Wi-Fi, basically through the app to your thermostat and configure it as you determine. Again, super convenient, but not very private. So I don't know. I'm just kind of ranting, but let me check the chat, see if anybody's in here talking yet. No, everybody's just watching. All right, I get it. I'm mesmerizing, I guess, tonight. All right, let's look at. Well, here's the actual article. I was supposed to link to that too, but this is an article on Fast Company talking about the leak. Not a leak, I guess it was it was kind of a leak. They shared your information to target ads and things like that. Okay, so let's talk about Loki a little bit more tonight. We talked about Loki last night. We did the desktop messenger, and tonight I think we are going to look at the mobile messenger too. So I got a little bit more information. Last night I don't know if you remember, but I sent, if you were watching last night, I sent a couple messages to a couple of people that are one is definitely a lead dev of Loki. The other one, I'm not sure, but they're involved in Loki in some way. I saw them on the Discord. And they replied, both of them replied, and were like, hey, what's up, or whatever. So that's cool. Let's see. So talking about Loki, if you didn't watch last night's episode, let me just briefly cover this. Their tagline, their tagline is trade and communicate with absolute freedom. And what exactly is Loki? It is a Monero code fork. It's focused on the creation of a suite of privacy software products like their wallet. And the wallet acts as an interface to the network and some communication features. They have the ability to send messages and things like that in here, like most wallets do, most crypto wallets. They have Loki Network called Lokinet, which is a mixed net, which is similar to Tor, that has incentivized Sybil attack resistant service nodes called snodes. We kind of covered those a little bit last night. Those snodes host service node applications, or snaps, that are not visible to the internet, route and scale traffic through the network using low latency anonymous routing protocol, or LARP. And this is something that Loki developed, and that supports off-chain services like some of the capabilities in Loki Messenger. So it's important to the infrastructure of the Loki network. And it's LARP is a new routing technology proposed by Loki. It's a hybrid Tor and I2P, or Invisible Internet Protocol, project protocol. Tor and I2P both have limitations in decentralization and privacy when it's compared to Loki's LARP. So it's like a hybrid of I2P and Tor. And Loki is all about privacy, and the snaps designed and running on the service nodes on the network could end up being almost anything you can imagine, such as social media apps, web browsers, forums, whatever you can think of, marketplaces. We're talking about messengers lately. So yeah, pretty much anything. Loki's goals always lean toward completely private interaction with the internet, using many different forms and services, which is why they interest me so much. I told the story of the What is Loki video. I think it was whenever they were launched back last year, and Key Jeffries was giving basically like a release presentation, and I listened to it. I don't know if I listened to it live or if it was just after the fact, like a day after or something. But whenever he was giving that presentation, he was talking about how governments were censoring their citizens, right? They were turning off services, and we see this a lot. We see this not so much in the US. I mean, you really don't see it here where I'm at, but you do see it overseas quite a bit. And we're seeing things in Hong Kong, we've seen things in some of the smaller countries over there where they have disabled services. Disabled Telegram, disabled Twitter, whatever, because they have those type of capabilities with how they have their internet set up. So, it's one of those things. He was talking about that, and whenever he was discussing it and saying that that's what led them to develop Loki, then I was instantly like hooked. That was basically what got me involved in it. So, and I've been watching them ever since. So there you go. There's my Loki story for you. Loki is all about privacy. Like I said, their goals always lean toward completely private interaction with the internet. And that's why it interests me so much. And so Loki has two main services they will be offering on Lokinet, and it's Blink and Messenger. I did a video on Blink a little while back. I talked about that last night. It's somewhere back here. I don't know how far. Yeah, right here. So about a week. Yeah, it was last week that I did that video. That's basically their instant payment solution. Great for point of sale and things like that. So that's what Loki Blink is. You don't have to wait on confirmations or anything like that, and it's super technical. And that's one thing about Loki that's cool. Well, I mean, it's cool in a way, is that you can't really start talking about one of their features or something that they're implementing without getting real technical really quick. I mean, the talk just turns into real technical. So, but hopefully they make it easy, and I think that they are focusing on making things easy for the end user. So, So that's Blink, and like I said, I did a video on that. The other service that they're offering is Messenger. That's the other main service that they're offering. And you might be thinking like, okay, so why do we need just yet another Messenger app? And if there's one word that I would say to persuade you to understand why you would need another messaging app, it is decentralized. That is the key word for this particular messenger, and it's important whenever it comes to privacy, right? So that is the word that should convince you to understand the importance of how Loki Messenger is, how it works. So we are constantly being targeted for data accumulation and aggregation by multiple services that we actually trust with our data. Then our data becomes a commodity that's sold to the highest bidder in hopes that they can show us ads that we are more likely to click on. And to defend against this, we all should focus on taking back our privacy. And that is something that Loki is focused on. So, like the project a lot, as you can tell. And being able to communicate anonymously and privately is a fundamental right. And that's another reason for Messenger. It's an anonymous, decentralized, end-to-end encrypted, untraceable, secure private messaging system that supports both online and offline messages. The interface itself is a fork of Signal, but all the traffic goes exclusively through Lokinet for the privacy. And like I was saying before, I brought this article up last night. I don't know if I actually showed it though. I might have. I don't remember. But the main thing that sets Loki Messenger apart from other messaging systems like Telegram, Signal, WhatsApp, iMessage, all those other ones, is that it is decentralized. And it can't be subpoenaed because there's nothing to subpoena, right? In the case of WhatsApp, messages are stored unencrypted in the app, and those messages can be backed up to the cloud in an unencrypted format, and then a subpoena could authorize the government and or law enforcement to access them. So that's not something that Loki would support. So let's take a look at Loki Messenger install, and remember this is still in beta, so we may see some weird things. There is a pretty good little video. I think I showed this last night as well. I'm going to reference it because it has some really neat graphics in it. As far as like this right here, it shows the way that Messenger works is the Messenger will connect to a swarm, and a swarm is a random grouping of service nodes. And I might get some of this terminology or technology wrong, but I believe that that's how it works. And I believe that the way that the swarms are all random also. So for that particular connection, I don't know if it does it every connection or if it's every block, or how, I don't know how it actually configures the swarms, but they are random as well. So there, you can see on the screen here, he's got it listed where there's like 3 in one, 3 in another, 2 in one, and 2 in another. But I don't know if that's like a I don't know if swarms are, I want to say they're up to 10. I don't know. I seem to recall it being 10. But anyway, so your messenger is actually going to connect to one of the service nodes, or not one of, a swarm of service nodes. And I think that's like basically the first thing he shows here. Well, the first thing he shows is creating the accounts, and we're going to actually be able to go through that tonight because I figured out how to wipe out my settings so that it'll fire up and we can create a new account. So we'll do that in a minute. Let's see here. So he created a couple of accounts here, and then eventually, see if I can get to it. So it looks like right here, yeah, so he created an account here, up here at the top, and then it shows up at the bottom right here. So that's guy 1, and then the second person comes in, the second messenger. So you got the 2 messengers down here at the bottom, right? And you got here. Then I want to say he starts talking. Yeah. So the first one, once they let's see, where's he at? Yeah. So he's sending a message from one person to another. And then that message, you can see how it went just to one of the swarms here. Let me just slow this down a little bit. So the message went from this user down here to the swarm. And then the other person, it was actually using this person's private key, right? Or private, is it called? Yeah, I think it's called a private key, but it's not like the private key of a wallet, right? It's just the private key of the messenger. And because this person, guy 1, sent it to guy 2 using that private key, then whenever guy 2 connects to his swarm, whichever it is, it might not be the same one. I suppose it could be, but whenever he fires up his messenger, it's going to connect to the swarm, to his swarm. I think it's this one over here. Yeah, so now he connects to that. Then there's an S node push that I believe that because all these are synced up, right? All these nodes are synced, then it knows that there's a message waiting over here for this person. So it makes that connection. And then once both of them are verified as receiving, being able to send and receive and everything's legit, then there's a peer-to-peer connection set up between this messenger and this messenger. So no longer do they use the swarms. It's just direct. So I thought this was a pretty good graphic, pretty good little video showing that capability and how it actually works. And some other things that Messenger has, let's see here. Minimize this, get that out of the way, this out of the way. So what we can do, hey, what's up, Cyril Thrilla? Let's see here. So Messenger has online messages, which is pretty straightforward. You know, it's just like I just showed you. But if it was offline, then those swarms, the nodes that the messenger talks to and communicates through initially, actually stores the message. And remember, those nodes are incentivized, so you know they are paid out in Loki, you know, block rewards and things like that. So the message sits there until the other person, the recipient, actually fires up their messenger and then talks to their swarm. And then because all those swarms are, you know, talking to each other and all the nodes are synced, right? Then the message is delivered. And then once that delivery happens, if both of the messengers are online at the same time, then it's a direct peer-to-peer encrypted communication at that point. So that's how offline works. And then you also have safety numbers within the wallet, or I'm sorry, within the messenger, that once you can actually look at them and compare them between the two devices and make sure that the safety numbers match up, and that kind of proves your end-to-end encryption is possible. So that's neat. They also have changing usernames, so you can change a username. You can change your name because it's not part of the, you know, it's not like a cryptographic username that can't be changed. And then they also have disappearing messages, kind of like Snapchat, where you can set it to disappear after a certain time frame. And then the messenger also has light and dark modes. So if we look at Loki Messenger beta on desktop, this was what we couldn't get to last night because I'd already had an account and I didn't know where to go in the file system to make it, you know, not recognize me anymore, but I figured that out. So now we'll just go through and register a new account. You can see right here on the very initial screen, it has your seed words. So if you don't like it, you can just keep hitting generate seed to change them, right? So we'll just pick this one. Copy that. I'm gonna throw it into a little document I got over here. Just in case. And then we will register. So now we do a display name. So I'm going to go SavageMine YouTube. No password, because I'm just going to make it simple. And then now if you're doing this, yes, you would definitely do a password, and a very complex one I would recommend. All right, and then save. All right, so thanks for testing Loki Messenger. Talks about the messenger a little bit here. Click OK there. All right, so what it's doing now is it's going out. They have Loki public chat, Loki Network news, some messenger updates. So these are messages that are sent, basically broadcast messages, probably to every Loki Messenger out there. And there's probably a way of turning that off, you know, if you don't want it, but I don't mind it at this point because it's all brand new and kind of need to know what's going on, right? All right, so if we wanted to send, I've got my address here for my actual account. So I'm going to start a conversation. Yeah, I mess that up every time. So I guess that just pasting it there is enough, and then you just come down here and type whatever. So this is from my YouTube, SavageMine YouTube, to my regular SavageMine account. All right, so that includes a friend request. So on the other end, on my messenger, if I wanted to decline, then I would not be, you know, a friend with this person. And I think that there's like it times out, you know, at some point, and you're able to send another friend request, because I did that with Key Jeffries, you know, one of the devs for Loki, because my original request, my original message to him didn't get delivered, or he didn't open it or whatever, and then I was able to send him another one later. So I don't know what the time frame is, but I'm sure that there's some type of a time frame that you can actually resend the message. Let's check this out. Let's see if we go to now this is an emulator for Android, so we can actually go through and maybe go through the steps of installing Loki Messenger on Android. Let's see if this works. This consumes a lot of power or memory, so I don't know how well my machine is going to handle this. We'll see. So you look for Lokinet, and then you got Loki Messenger, Loki Project Early Access. Beta sign up in progress, just takes a few minutes. This app is in development. All right, great. So let's go to install. So this is what it would look like on your phone. All right, so let's open that. So it's telling us it's currently in beta. Okay, good. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about an automatic message backup. I don't know if let's see if I can copy that out of the emulator. Looks like it. Okay, so once we get to, whatever, once we copy down our seed words, then we would use register. I'm going to ask for a display name. I'm going to say SavageMine YouTube Mobile. Next. So it's doing the same thing. It's grabbing all the broadcast messages. Okay, so this is kind of cool. It looks like you can copy your SMS messages into the encrypted database. But I'm not going to do that because this is just emulator. Get out of there. Okay, so this looks pretty consistent with the desktop version. Pretty close. I'm going to do a new message here. The public key. Oh, you know what? I messed up earlier. Let me correct that. I think I said private key whenever I was talking about the numbers associated with your Loki account. That's a mistake. Sorry about that. It's not private key. Never give anyone your private key. This doesn't even have a private key, so not really. It's got the seed words, but yeah. Wow, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, earlier I was saying, I think I said private key. I'll have to go back and listen. But yeah, no private keys. You don't give anyone your private key. Public key. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. Okay. So we're gonna see if I can paste this in here. Looks like it worked. So this is the, actually no. Let me grab, oh shoot. Let me grab the other. Right. I'm gonna grab not that one. Grab this one. Copy public key. Here we go. All right, so enter the public key of the person you'd like to securely message. They can share the public key with you by going to Loki Messenger's in-app settings and clicking share public key. Okay, so like if you had, I'll have to look at that. Loki Messenger's in-app settings. Yeah, I'll have to check. Okay, so this should go to my, this is going to work. It should go to right here. That's what I sent. So let's not go there. It should come here, but I don't know. It looks like it's still spinning down here. So I don't know if this emulator is actually going to. It should. I mean, I created the account, so it should work. Yeah, see how it's spinning? I don't know why that's happening there. Okay, I don't know enough about it. I figured that would work. Let's see if I can do it the other way. I mean, is it possible because the IP is the same? I don't know. You would think that it would matter. Yeah, here's the... Actually, you can't do that with that because there's no... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's hung up like that. But again, this is beta, so we might just be seeing something weird with the emulator. Maybe because it's the emulator, it's not going to work. You know, I mean, they installed successfully and all that, so I was really thinking that it would work, but it looks like that could be the problem or part of the problem. So what I can do, because I did send, see here, copy publicly. I did send a message to my other account. So what I can do is actually go in there and fix that. I'm going to close the emulator. And then what I'll do is close this. So if you go to your app data folder, it's in, what you have to change is in roaming. And it's under, I think it's just right there. Yeah, so let me show y'all where this is at. Now I'm sure there's just there's going to be just a file in there that you can rename or something, but I just renamed the whole folder to make it simple. And so what you can do, like this is the one, the right name is Loki Messenger Beta. That's because that's the one I'm using now, right? Whenever I launch Loki Messenger. And if I wanted to use this one, which is my real one, then I can change this to something like test. And then change this one back to the real name. And then launch, there's probably a simpler way of doing that, but that's just how I figured out how to do it. And then whenever you launch Loki Messenger, it comes up like this because I've already logged on, right? Let me throw my password in here. Turn my camera off so y'all can't read my eyes here. All right, so now I should have a message in here from that other address. Yeah, see right here, SavageMine YouTube, and see how there's a 1 on there? So if we click that, then it has the friend request, so you can accept or decline. That's what I was talking about earlier. You could, accept or decline that. I'm going to accept. And then whenever you accept, okay, now you can click that safety numbers, and then you can verify this with the other user, which is SavageMine YouTube. And if let's see, compare the numbers above with the numbers on their device, it should match. And if it does match, then it is end-to-end encryption between those two devices, or those two accounts. You got, so I can mark as verified. You have not verified your safety number. Okay, so you would do that if you did verify it, right? Which I didn't, so. But that'll give you, I was hoping maybe it would change the look of this somehow, maybe to let you know that it's verified. But nonetheless, I mean, that's an extreme amount, an extreme measure of privacy or, security, because you're verifying an end-to-end encrypted peer-to-peer connection whenever you do that. So that's kind of neat. And here you can change their nickname, archive, delete messages, delete contact, all the good stuff. So that is cool. And yeah, you can see right here, Key and them are talking to me too about the public chats and stuff. So we'll get in there and let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to there, how about that? So that's kind of cool. Yeah, neat stuff there. They do have this reminded me right here, they do have a wallet update. I'll probably do a video on that as well. Let's see, what time is it? 10:16. Maybe we'll do that. Let me check the chat. I'm gonna close that and see what y'all are up to over here. And you're all talking, oh, there's Key Jeffries. I didn't know you were in there. Yeah, okay. I wish I was looking at the chat. Yeah, it looks like that's probably what it is, I would assume. So that's neat. Thanks for popping in here, man. Yeah, yeah, I can try that emulator again and fire it up and do a public chat. I can do that. It takes forever to launch it though on this machine, so I'm not gonna do it right now because it'll take about 5 or 10 minutes for that thing to fire up. Yeah, my hard drive's full too. Actually, mine's not that bad. I believe that is all I wanted to cover tonight. I think that is good to go. So Serial, Thrilla, and Shuby, y'all have to take that offline. I guess. Yeah, I'm sure y'all talk in Discord or whatever too. So, because this chat will close out eventually once I end the stream. So, thanks to everyone that showed up. Thanks, Key. That was nice, Keys Jeffrey. Keys Jeffrey, I think is right. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate that, man. That was cool. Yeah, I don't know if you heard all the promotion of Loki at the beginning, but I would probably be considered a Loki fanboy if you listen to that part. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite projects. So I'll keep an eye on you guys for sure. So I appreciate it. You guys, I'll probably be live again tomorrow night, same time. Let's see, it's Thursday. Probably at 9:30, and again, don't know what I'll talk about. It might be the Loki desktop wallet upgrade, maybe, because we need to get that done too. So maybe I'll just cover that. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. And stay savage. Well, here, just fill me in. What are we talking about here? Maybe I can help. What are y'all? I was trying to catch up with what y'all are actually talking about here. Shuby, it sounds like you've got a Windows rig that is the hard drive's full. Whenever you go to Properties, General, and Disk Cleanup, make sure that you choose, there's an option down there for, let's see here. Not that. What am I looking for? Disk Cleanup. Disk Cleanup, and then it's cleanup system files. This one is the one that requires an admin, or requires administrative privileges. So there's a lot. It'll get in there and do a lot more with updates and things like that. Clean up your Windows update file and whatnot. So I don't know if maybe that's what you're talking about. This will be more than just a regular disk cleanup. But other than that, if you have like a lot of wallets and things like that, you might have, or if you have any wallets on there, you might have blockchain. Like, have you downloaded like a blockchain for some project or anything? If y'all are watching, if people are watching this after the fact and y'all were just here to do the Loki stuff, we're just gonna chat about other stuff, so y'all can end it right here. Trying to help out Shuby. Yeah, like all those check boxes that I just brought up. I mean, you can see the space over here. Let me see the space over here. You know, how much it's taken up. So you might find the one that will always get you, but you do need to also clean up system files. So this is what I was talking about a while ago. Like, this isn't everything. Like, you want to click this button here too, because it'll go into temporary folders and things like that to really get in there and do some real cleaning. Because you can see that I went from, actually, see, mine needs to be cleaned up as well. What did I do? Good grief, what's going on here? That's weird. I had a lot more than that just a little earlier today. All right, but anyway, so you can see it's got temporary internet files, Windows upgrade log files and stuff like that in here. The other one probably has temporary internet files too, but this one will get a little bit deeper and clean out more stuff. Hey, what's up, Big Crypto Dave? Do you have anything on that SMOS? Is it a SSD? Juby? Yeah, talk about drives filling up. Look at mine. Dangerous. All right, there, I got a little bit back. I probably have something syncing, most likely. Blockchain or something. Okay, so the USB is saying it's out of space. If you don't have anything weird on the USB, like any unique settings or anything like that, I would in the case of the USB, if it's saying that it's out of space, I would burn a brand new image to it, a brand new SMOS image, and just wipe it out. That's what I would do, because it's faster to do that than actually sitting around troubleshooting it. Just burn you know, go to download.simplemining.net and grab images, and then look over here at the date. So it looks like they've got let's see, none in October yet, but they've got one in 24. So then you would look at what you need. Like, if you have AMD, then I would stick with probably the 1820 drivers, depending on which GPUs you have. NVIDIA, this is the NVIDIA driver number right here. Oh, I'm sorry, right here. So I don't know which, you know, if you have NVIDIA, which one you'll need. They have 43050, 43040. So you would just pick which one. I want to say this is the last one I got, was right here. And then just burn that to, you know, use Balena Etcher and get that image burned to the SMOS, or to the USB again. So that would be where I would start with troubleshooting that particular problem, that out of space. I mean, you can also, if you don't want to do that, you could SSH into the rig and delete. Well, actually, the newer versions don't even have. They don't keep downloading all the different miners. It's all kind of like done in a virtual way. But if you have an older version of SMOS, then it might be doing it the old way and storing all your miners on the actual SSD, or the actual storage on the USB. I said SSD, on the USB. So you can SSH in there and delete unused miners, but usually miners don't take up a whole lot of space, but it depends on which one it is. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I'll check that out, Shuby. I'll try to help you out, man. I don't know if it'll be tonight or not, but we'll see. When do you have time to look at it? And it's saying it's out of space, huh? When was the last time you burned a new image of SMOS? If you can't remember, then it's probably been too long, and you probably need to get a new one. Yeah, I would definitely start with, like I was saying over here. I would definitely go and burn a brand new image, and just go with it. I can't believe it's still working, to be honest with you, because it's something pretty common that you have to do. I mean, it's not that common because it does update on its own, but in order to clean it up, it sounds like maybe it's just SMOS updates have just stuck around. Yeah, for sure, Cyril Thrilla. And it actually runs a lot better and more reliable on SSDs also. And with the price of low capacity SSDs these days, yeah, that's probably ideal, would be to do it on SSD. But I'm not. I mean, I'll admit I'm still using cheap USBs for simple mining, which might be why I have problems like this. So this rig just refuses to stay online for some reason. Yeah, I would definitely burn a new image and start there. That would be the first thing I would tell you. And I have videos on that, actually. I think I have a SMOS. Yep, right here. So I have a SMOS playlist. Right here is the USB one. Looks like it's the first simple mining video I did. So yeah, and they're way faster, definitely. Especially if you get a cheap USB, they can be a little dogs sometimes. Yeah, Crypto Dave, we're just BSing right now. Right on, Shuby. I appreciate it. I talked about why at the beginning of the video. I'm not sponsored. I'm not nothing like that. It was just one of the projects that I initially looked at last year. I think it was like summer last year, whenever they launched, and I watched their launch video, basically their launch like presentation. I think it was down in Australia somewhere, I believe, and just some of the things that they were saying just interested me. the lead developer, Key Jeffries, you know, just some things that they said about being, you know, privacy and you know, being able to interact with the internet in a private manner, I guess, was what I was hooked on. Yeah, the 3900s Celerons, yeah, they're awful. I have a 3930 and then I have a 4400 Pentium. And the 4400 is not much better, but it's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm definitely not sponsored, man. In no way. I would definitely tell you if I was. In the case of Conceal or CCX, I have received a small bounty from them, but that was it. I did like a whole bunch of videos, just, you know, talking about their project and stuff, and there was just a small bounty for doing videos, I guess. So. Yeah, I'm not sponsored and I don't plan to be. So I would definitely, yeah, and I've got a tip from Shuby. That's true too. Yeah, and I mean, if I was sponsored, I would probably be a little bit more fluent in the applications and stuff. You know, like I do things live, so I had not even. Well, I didn't remember how to set up an account. I didn't. You know, I was trying to send from an emulated Loki Messenger install on mobile to the desktop. That wasn't working. You know, I didn't do any testing before I went live, so everything I do is pretty much real time and just you know, winging it from like no knowledge whatsoever. So it's kind of apparent that I'm not sponsored if you think about it. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm not doing Fireball anymore. Now, if I was to get sponsored by Fireball now, that would be something different. That would be, I would definitely tell you guys. That would be awesome. But no, I'm cutting back on the Fireball. I'm only going to do that on Crypto Fireball Fridays. Yeah, man. You know, I haven't followed Loki that closely over the past probably eight or nine. Well, maybe not that long. See, this is October. Probably about 7 or 8 months. I really haven't followed them really closely because, you know, they were busy developing stuff, right? So there wasn't a whole lot going on. I think there was a couple of wallet updates or something in between there, but they're ramping up now and they're getting ready to release some of the services on their network like Messenger and Blink, and I just felt like it was time to kind of look into them a little bit more. And I'm not promoting them. I'm not saying you should mine them. I'm not saying you should download and install this messenger. I just think that it's cool that they are focused so much on privacy and security, and you know, and everything that they do is along those lines. That's their goal, you know. Cyril Thrilla, yeah, you texted me, I think, and was like, or you wrote on one of the videos and was talking about trying Fireball for the first time and you liked it, I guess. So that's cool. I like it. It's not bad. And whenever I mix it with sweet tea, it's like you can't even taste the. I mean, you can taste it, you know it's there, but it's you can mix it like, I don't know, like a third Fireball and 2/3 sweet tea, and it's really, really good if you like sweet tea. I'm from the South, so I like sweet tea. Thrilla, it's got that blocked because of cursing, but I'm gonna show it because it is delicious. All right, so I am over an hour now. I am probably gonna get out of here. I have to do real work in the morning, so. Okay, I'll try 2/3, 2/3 to 1/3 iced tea. Good grief. Have either one of you tried that? Fireball and sweet tea? Really good. I also need to set up my chat so that it's more real time too, because there's quite a bit of delay between, you know, what I'm saying and what we're talking about over here. So I need to fix that too. So are y'all hooked up on Discord now so that I can end this chat or end this stream? All right, Shuby and Serial Thrilla, hit me up in the Discord if you need to. I might be around. It's expensive. It's one of the cheaper ones. Hot stuff, huh? Okay, I'll have to. I might try that. I might try that. They have let's see. Let me see if I can bring up my Discord here. They have. What Jack Daniel's Fire, I think, is their version. Cinnamon whiskey, and then there's a couple other ones that are doing it also. It's in all my video descriptions, Serial Thrilla. It's down there. That should get you there. I thought you were already in there. All right, so that's going to do it for me. I am going to get out of here this time. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought that he was already in there. All right, so I'm going to get out of here for real this time. I will see y'all next time. Stay savage. Take care.